What if I told you that studying doesn't have to feel painful and that you can actually get addicted to it? Not just motivated or disciplined, but genuinely addicted. There's a simple dopamine trick that can rewire your brain to crave studying, and once you understand it, everything starts to change. Most people think the problem is laziness, but it's not. The real problem is that your brain sees studying as low reward, while things like TikTok, gaming, and YouTube are high reward. So naturally, your brain avoids studying and chooses the easier, more stimulating option. It's not that you're weak, it's just how your brain is wired. But the good news is that you can flip that system. First, you need to understand dopamine. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's about anticipation. Your brain releases dopamine when it expects a reward, not just when you actually get it. That's why scrolling feels so addictive, because you never know what the next post will be. It's unpredictable and your brain loves that. Studying, on the other hand, is predictable and often feels boring, which means low dopamine. So the goal is simple. Make studying feel rewarding and slightly unpredictable. Here's the trick. Instead of forcing yourself to study for long periods like 2 or 3 hours, you break your study time into small, manageable sessions. For example, you study for 25 minutes, and then you give yourself a reward. But the key is how you give that reward. It shouldn't be instant, and it shouldn't be the same every time. You want to create a bit of anticipation. One way to do this is by adding randomness. After each study session, you can decide your reward based on chance. For example, you could roll a dice. If it lands on 1 to 3, you get a small reward like checking your phone for a few minutes. If it lands on 4 to 6, you get a bigger reward like watching a longer video or having a snack. Now your brain starts thinking, what am I going to get this time? And suddenly studying becomes the thing that leads to excitement instead of boredom. To make this even more effective, you can stack a few simple habits. First, have a clear start trigger. Study at the same place and the same time every day so your brain begins to associate that environment with focus. Second, track your progress. Use a checklist or mark each completed session. Every time you finish one, your brain gets a small sense of achievement. Third, always end your sessions at a clear stopping point. This makes it easier to come back later and keeps your brain wanting more. At the beginning, you're relying on external rewards to get started, and that's completely fine. But over time, something interesting happens. Your brain starts to associate studying itself with dopamine. The act of sitting down and making progress begins to feel rewarding on its own. That's when things really change. You no longer need motivation or discipline in the same way, because studying becomes something your brain actually wants to do. So if you've been struggling to focus or stay consistent, don't try to force yourself harder. Instead, work with your brain. Use dopamine to your advantage, create small reward loops, and make the process a little more unpredictable. Once your brain is on your side, studying stops feeling like something you have to do and starts feeling like something you naturally keep coming back to.